Imagine being laughed at in a room full of powerful people, not because you failed, but because they never believed you could succeed. The kind of laughter that sounds polite, controlled, and confident, yet carries sharp edges underneath. That was the moment when a single sentence changed everything. The cleaning lady stood quietly near the back of the office, her posture straight, her hands folded the way years of hard work had taught her. The floors beneath her feet shined because she made them shine. She had cleaned that office late at night and early in the morning, learning every corner of the place without ever truly being seen. Beside her stood her son, a teenage boy with calm eyes and a stillness that came from listening more than speaking. He wasn't nervous, he was observant. The room itself was polished and expensive, filled with soft chairs, glass tables, and people who spoke with the confidence of those who had never been doubted. At the center sat a millionaire, relaxed, amused, completely at ease. He glanced at the cleaning lady, then at her son, and smiled as if he had already decided how this moment would end. From his desk, he lifted a sheet of paper and waved it casually in the air. He said it was written in a foreign language, something complex, something impossible to understand without real education. Then came the challenge. Half joking, half mocking, he told the boy to translate it. He added that if the boy could do it correctly, his entire salary would be his. Words landed like a performance, meant to entertain the room. A few people chuckled. Others smiled politely. No one stopped him. The cleaning lady lowered her gaze. She had seen this before, not these exact words, but the feeling behind them. The assumption, quiet belief that people like her and her son existed on the edges of success, never at its center. She wanted to step forward, to say something, but years of survival had taught her when silence felt safer. Her son didn't move right away. He looked at the paper, then at the man holding it. There was no anger in his face, no fear either, just focus. When he reached out his hand, the room shifted slightly. The millionaire raised an eyebrow, amused, and handed the paper over, expecting confusion, maybe embarrassment. What he didn't expect was how carefully the boy read it. The boy's eyes moved slowly across the page, line by line. He didn't rush, didn't ask questions. Laughter faded into quiet curiosity. The cleaning lady felt her heart tighten. She remembered the nights she came home exhausted to find her son still awake, surrounded by books borrowed from libraries, studying languages she didn't understand but respected deeply. She had scrubbed floors while he built something invisible. The millionaire leaned back, still confident, unaware that his challenge had already stopped being entertainment. The room grew quiet, not uncomfortable yet, just attentive. The boy lifted his head slightly, holding the paper with steady hands. In that moment, something subtle changed. The mockery no longer belonged to the men who issued the challenge. It hung in the air, waiting to see who it would expose. No one realized it yet, but the room was standing at the edge of a moment it wouldn't forget. A moment where assumptions would be tested, pride would be shaken, and a quiet boy, long overlooked, was about to be heard. Silence in the room deepened as the boy began to speak. His voice was calm, steady, and unexpectedly confident, cutting through the lingering doubt like a clean line through fog. He didn't rush. He didn't hesitate. He translated the first sentence carefully, not just word for word, but meaning for meaning, explaining the intent behind it as if the language were his own. A few heads tilted. Someone shifted in their chair. The room leaned in without realizing it. He continued, moving through the text with quiet precision. Each phrase flowed naturally into the next, explained context where it mattered, corrected subtle nuances, and clarified expressions that couldn't be translated literally. This wasn't memorization. This was understanding. The paper that had been waved around moments earlier as a joke now felt heavier in everyone's hands. The millionaire's smile thinned, then disappeared altogether. As the boy spoke, the laughter that had once filled the room felt distant, almost embarrassing. People who had smiled politely earlier now avoided eye contact with one another. A few exchanged glances, silently asking the same question. How did they not see this coming? The boy's voice never rose, never tried to impress. It simply told the truth of the text, line by line, with respect and clarity. Cleaning lady lifted her head slowly. Her eyes widened, then softened. Pride welled up quietly, the kind that doesn't shout but fills the chest until breathing feels different. She remembered the sacrifices that had gone unnoticed, the extra shifts, the long commutes, the meals eaten late. She remembered telling her son to keep studying even when the world didn't seem to care. Now the world was listening. Halfway through, the millionaire leaned forward, resting his elbows on the desk. His confidence had shifted into something tighter, more uncertain. He opened his mouth as if to interrupt, then closed it again. The boy was already ahead, explaining a section the man himself hadn't fully understood. The power in the room had begun to change, quietly and unmistakably. When the boy reached the final line, he paused, not for effect, but for accuracy. Then he finished, gently placing the paper back on the desk. Didn't ask if he was correct, didn't look around for approval. He simply stood there, waiting, as if this had always been the natural outcome. The room remained frozen. No applause, no laughter. Just a shared realization settling in. The challenge that had been meant to entertain had revealed something far more uncomfortable, the ease with which people underestimated what they didn't bother to know. The millionaire stared at the paper, then at the boy, as if trying to reassemble a story that no longer made sense. In that stillness, the cleaning lady took a small step forward. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. Her presence alone felt different now, no longer invisible, no longer dismissed. The boy had said everything that needed to be said, without raising his voice, without asking for permission. Silence stretched, heavy but clear. Room understood it had crossed a line it couldn't step back from. What was meant as mockery had become a lesson, and everyone present knew they were no longer watching a joke unfold. They were witnessing a turning point, one built not on loud defiance, but on quiet excellence. The millionaire finally broke the silence, but his voice no longer carried the ease it once had. He cleared his throat, shifting in his chair as though the room had subtly tilted against him. The confidence he had displayed earlier now felt out of place, almost fragile. He glanced around, searching for support in the faces of others, but found none. The moment had moved beyond him. Control had quietly slipped away. He tried to speak lightly, to dismiss what had just happened as something small, something accidental, but the words didn't land. They drifted and fell flat, absorbed by a room that had already reached its own conclusion. Paper on the desk suddenly looked ordinary, stripped of the power it once held as a prop for mockery. What remained was the truth that had been revealed so clearly it could not be undone. The boy stood calmly, hands at his sides, expression unchanged. He didn't wait for praise. He didn't look at the men for acknowledgement. His role in the moment was complete. He turned slightly toward his mother, meeting her eyes. In that glance was everything they had never said aloud: gratitude, pride, and a shared understanding of how far they had come together. The cleaning lady straightened her shoulders. For the first time since entering that room, she felt seen, not because she demanded attention, but because it had been earned through her son's quiet strength. Years of invisible labor, of being overlooked and underestimated, softened into something lighter. She didn't smile widely. She simply stood taller, grounded in a dignity that no one could question now. On them, conversations slowly restarted, but they carried a different tone. Softer. Thoughtful. People spoke more carefully, as if afraid of exposing assumptions they hadn't realized they carried. A few glanced at the boy with respect. Others looked away, reflecting inwardly. The room had learned something it couldn't forget. The millionaire remained seated as the boy and his mother turned to leave. He didn't stop them, didn't call out. The authority he believed he had over the moment was gone. As they walked toward the door, the sound of their footsteps felt louder than before, not because they demanded attention, but because silence had made space for them. Outside, the air felt different, lighter, freer. Mother paused and placed a gentle hand on her son's shoulder. She thanked him, not for defending her, but for being himself. He nodded, a small smile touching his face. He had never translated the paper for money. He had done it because knowledge, once earned, deserves to be carried with confidence. Behind them, inside that polished office, the echo of the moment lingered. Millionaire would go on with his life, but something fundamental had shifted. His challenge had not exposed weakness, it had revealed strength where he least expected it. The boy and his mother walked away together. One truth followed them quietly and powerfully: intelligence does not announce itself with status, and dignity does not ask for permission. Sometimes, it simply stands, speaks once, and changes everything.